algae reefs and aquariums. So, you can play your TV, Dana. She's trying to turn TV now. I just talk closer. So, I've gotten some comments and dings, and people always ask me, why don't you have any algae? Hair algae, bubble algae, etc., excuse me, in my display tank. And I say it's because two things. And it's crazy that I don't. I feed heavy. I run my lights for 11 to 12 hours a day. Only thing I get the lights, that daytime, brown, just, the mist on the glass. We got to wipe the glass down, but that's pretty much common. But as an algae on rocks, etc., I don't get it. And the reason I don't get it is two things. First of all, it's a run a Refugium. And I'll explain that in a second. And the first run a Refugium. And the second reason is what's inside this box. All right. So I opened the box already with a knife, but now I'm gonna see if I can actually. 1 second here. I'm on my cell phone. See if I can drop it down a little bit. That's a little better. So you guys can see. So before I go here, my tank also supports mandarins, which are fickle eaters. I got Achilles tang. I got a leopard wrasse. I have all the expert fish that people say are hard or impossible to keep, and they're eating and they're healthy. And I'm telling you, it all goes down to this: if you're going to start any type of reef tank, before you start, you need to seed your tank. And what I say by that? So here we go. You guys can probably guess looking at exactly what I have here. Reef nutrition. Now, if you see my previous video, you see that I exclusively use reef nutrition to feed my corals and invertebrates, right? I use everything. I got the polyfeast, I got the SD Craig, I got the oyster feast, got the rota feast, got the apex pods, the tiger pods. I use the ROE, I use the exit pods, I use the beta prime, and I use the Mr. Feast. I use everything. Not only do I feed and I stick by it, but I have enhanced coloring in my fish because, let me show you. Because they love this. What this is, it actually enhances the coloration in your fish. And even picky fish, my mandarin actually eats this, and my Achilles tang. I'll make a video about that later, but let's get back to this. So let's show you what I got here. 1 second here. Oh, oops, sorry. Unprofessional. Let's drop it down one more time. Okay. Sorry about that, but I'm using my cell phone today. Alright, let's open this guy up. Using an old school butter knife. This is a universal screwdriver in the hood. Here we go. Oh man, I wanted to keep this, but I broke it. Oh well. So here we got a ice pack, and inside here we have tiger pods. These are actually bottled 4 days ago. Now once you get them, you want to open the lid here, oxygen, but these are tiger pods. And as you can see real close, let's see that. Let's see. 1 and 2 bottles. All right. Now, my tank has a multitude of pods already in it, but I recently cleaned my Cheeto, my Refugium. And when I removed a lot of the Cheeto, I actually removed a lot of pods. So there's a lot of actual pods in Cheeto, so I need to reseed, right, to get the population back up. Now, how do I keep algae from going in my tank? Refugium. In the Refugium, I grow Cheeto. I run Cheeto between 12 to 9 a.m. in the morning. What happens is that all the nutrients in the water, right, all the nutrients in the water goes into the sump. And then the Cheeto or the algae that I'm growing absorbs this nutrients from the water. And I actually run the light, so it's at night. It absorbs the nutrients from the water, and then the Cheeto grows. As the Cheeto grow, it depletes the nutrient levels. It starves out other pests, microalgae, because they don't have the fuel to grow. So that's why you have to, at least in my case, I have to harvest my Cheeto once a month. But when I harvest the Cheeto, it's full of life. All right, everything in there is crazy. It has bristleworms in it. Got the little starfish looking things. I forget what you call them, but it's a ton of pods in there. And keep in mind, guys, that as the pods grow, they eat. And when the pods eat, they eat on fish waste. So it completes the cycle, right? So my Refugium sucks up the nutrients, grows the Cheeto algae, which starves out the macroalgae from the tank, and then the pods grow. As they grow and reproduce, they feed on the waste of the tank, keeps my tank clean, keeps my tank algae free. So let me show you quickly how I seed the tank using tiger pods. And normally I do this at night when the lights are off to give you guys a little chance, but right now I'm gonna do it during the day with the lights on because I want to show you this, especially the guys that asked, how do yes, you can easily just pour it in the tank and pour it in the sump, but I take a little different approach. Now, normally I would float these in the water to get them to correct temperature, but I've had them sitting out, and they actually, as I look at these little guys, they're quite active, so I'm just gonna go straight to the tank. So give me a minute to set up, show you how I'm gonna take you to the tank, show you how I feed, how I seed my Refugium. And then later tonight, which I probably won't show you, after that, just keep in mind that when the lights go down, and also at night, so two things at night. When my lights die, I have moonlights that come on over the tank, radiant apex moonlight. So what happens is that all of the nocturnal creatures in my tank, which feed and are active at night, the moonlight simulates the actual moon, which stimulates activity. Then in the sump, my Refugium light come on, so I'm growing algae at night, right, to keep my pH high by 8.2. And in the tank, I have moonlight simulating, causing spawning, causing growth, causing activity of my introverts and stuff like that happen at night as they become active. And then I seed it with tiger pods that keeps the whole cycle, that feeds my mandarin, that feeds my pipefish, that it feeds the anemones. As they grow, they in return feed on the waste of the tank, and it completes the cycle. And check this out. So this is made by two little fishes, and you see this is actually almost like a turkey baser, but the cool thing about it is it extends out, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip the tip into this bottle. I'm going to pull it up into the neck. Then I'm going to take you over to the sump and show you what I'm doing, okay? So first we're going to dip this guy in here. Now squeeze, and there we go. See that? Fill the body. So that's full of pods now, okay? So I'm going to put the top back on here. And let's go to the tank. Alright guys, so this is my sump. I've already cut off the skimmer. Now I'm going to cut off the return pump. And just so you can see inside here, I'm actually going to cut on the Refugium light. Okay. Now, see if I can bring it closer here. Let's see here. Now this is the Refugium. Like I said, I just actually pruned it back, so it was full, guys. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, let's see here, move this light, this is apex light, and this actually here should be inside of here. So what I'm going to do now is, now inside my Refugium, there is Cheeto and a few pieces of rock. Now I'm going to take turkey baser, extend it down. I'm going to go down to the base of the Refugium. Let's see if I can show you this. 1 second here. And I'm actually going to inject pods directly into my Refugium. Okay, just so you can see. I know we're going to do that, but these are pods going directly into the Refugium. Now, 1 second. Now, if you look at a Refugium, you can see little pods swimming around. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm giving those opportunity to actually settle down within the Refugium here. Okay. Now I'm going to actually hit it a couple more times, but I wanted to show you the video. And as you can see in the Refugium, there's a little bubble algae growing in there. So there's all kind of stuff happening, but it's all contained within this area here. Now this is a water box. I actually modified it with a piece of plexiglass to give me the Refugium. Right, so real quick tour. Trident, dosers, doser bottles, skimmer, and I go to the tank in a second. So that's how I actually see it. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my tank. I'm going to cut off the filter pumps, and I'm going to take this, actually go deep down into the crevice of the rocks, but I'm going to do that tonight, and I'm going to actually disperse pods deep down within the rock work. And then once I do that, I'm just going to basically just feed the tank and just let them go. I'm going to keep the return pump off for approximately, give them a chance to settle down for about 15-20 minutes. You can still see them in there moving around, and that's it. Once I get it started back, I'm gonna come back and show you my tank and show you that the only thing I do, guys, is wipe the glass down. Okay, so now let me show you my tank and show you that the only thing I do is wipe the glass down. I have no algae. This is what all whites are. I said OG Reefs and Aquariums. Remember, patience, consistency is the only way you can do it. Run a Refugium, nothing less. If you don't, get some, I'm not sponsored, but get some tiger pots. Not only would they feed your animals, feed your inhabitants, allow you to keep really picky, eat fish, but as they grow, they in return help clean your tank, because tiger pots themselves eat and breed and feed off of feast waste and other problems in your tank. Like, subscribe below, hit me below, and that's it. Peace.